In my Don't Sweat Your Social Security Start Date video, I oversimplified the issue by taking a broad demographic view where any start date results in essentially the same payout when calculated across the total eligible population. But you are not a statistic, you're an individual, and various concerns can make an earlier or later start date more beneficial. This video looks at a few of these. For two groups, the decision is easy. If you need the money to meet your basic needs, it makes sense to take the benefit as soon as possible, unless you're still working and might be subject to a penalty. And I have a separate video about working before full retirement age while collecting Social Security. Also, if you're very well off, you don't need the benefit at all. So you can comfortably take it immediately and donate it to charity. Or, since you only get Social Security by applying for it, leave it in the fund as a backup. And if you don't need it, let it remain for the benefit of other seniors. But for everyone in the middle, there are countless issues. Everyone eligible for Social Security can begin taking it at age 62, but benefits are reduced by 30%. Full retirement age for people born in 1960 or later is age 67. And I'm going to use that in this video, although for some, like me, full retirement age is a few months earlier. And if you delay getting benefits up until age 70, you get 8% per year increase in benefits for each year of delay. Beyond age 70, you get no increase in benefits for waiting. So those numbers once again, if you begin taking Social Security at age 62, your benefits are reduced by 30%. If you take it at full retirement age, you get the full benefit. And if you take it at age 70, you get a 24% increase in your benefit. Superficially, this shows a 54% spread between taking Social Security at age 62 versus age 70. Although the Social Security Administration says in some instances, this spread can be as high as 77%. As a preliminary matter, it's well worth going online to ssa.gov to open up an account. First, it gives you a head start on the account you'll need for your Medicare and Social Security application. Second, it gives you accurate estimates of your Social Security benefit at various ages. This example is not me, but a random example from the internet. This also allows you to calculate a spousal benefit based upon your projection. But using general numbers, the average retired worker's benefit in 2024 is $1,907, which I'll round up to $2,000 for simplicity. First, the benefit spread between age 62 and 70 is considerable, even ignoring cost of living allowances. A 62-year-old would only get $1,400 a month, and a 72-year-old would get $2,480 a month, a $1,080 a month difference. Of course, by the time he reaches age 70, that 62-year-old retiree would have already collected $103,680. At first, your analysis is simple. You calculate your crossover date when the benefit of taking a smaller benefit early is eclipsed by taking a larger benefit later. And a calculator like the one at calculator.net, I'll leave it in the links below, makes this easy. Please note that this calculator automatically adds a 5% return on your Social Security benefit, ignoring taxes and the fact that most people who take Social Security at age 62 use the money for expenses or extras. Financial planners often use an even higher rate of return that generates more dramatic crossover dates than I show here. With a zero rate of return and an average 3% cost of living allowance increase, the lines are not as dramatic as the ones a financial planner will generate. But please remember, they get paid for either their advice and/or commissions on having you invest your money. I'm an ordinary consumer and I don't have those motivations. So within these parameters, if you compare retiring at age 62 to 67, your break-even point is at age 76. 62 versus 70, the break-even point is at age 78. This calculator lets you manipulate anticipated cost of living increases and return on the money if you invested it. And hold the thought of the cost of living increase. We'll get to that later, but you get the basic idea. Now, at first blush, it looks like a return of 8% per year on your investment in Social Security is a good one. But that ignores the statistic that there's a chance you will die in any given year. In general, about a 2.5% chance for men and a 1.6% chance for women in their 60s. If you die before you collect Social Security, you get nothing. It's simplistic, but if you reduce your rate of return by your chance of death, the 8% per year increase looks a lot less attractive. However, there are additional benefits to waiting to take Social Security. Two of these are the potential spousal benefits and an increased cost of living adjustment, or COLA, amount. In the modern world, most married couples have individual Social Security eligibility, so the spousal benefit is not as important as it once was, but at full retirement age, a spouse of 10 years or more is eligible for 1/2 of your Social Security benefit, and that eligibility continues after you die. Taking Social Security early can decrease the potential spousal benefit by 35%, but taking it at full retirement age can increase that benefit. To better provide for your spouse, you might want to delay your benefit date. In 2023, the cost of living allowance was a whopping 8.7%. So we'll use that figure in this example, although in 2024, it's a more typical 3.2%. The cost of living allowance is calculated on a reduced benefit if you calculate Social Security early. So in our earlier example, a 62-year-old retiree with a $1,400 benefit would get a COLA of $121.80 per month, while a person at full retirement age would get $174 a month, and a 70-year-old would get $215.76. And just like compound interest, the difference increases with each passing year. Another consideration is the Social Security Fund is predicted to be unable to fully cover benefits starting in about 2034, when, without change, the benefit would be reduced to about 80%. And these figures vary from estimate to estimate. That this would occur was once unthinkable, but in an era of congressional dysfunction, it's become less unthinkable. Some people may want to get benefits early because they doubt they will be fully available in the future. Another potential issue is that Social Security can start at age 62, but Medicare does not start until age 65, and a number of seniors utilize the Affordable Care Act for health insurance in the gap years. Recently, federal legislation has given Affordable Care Act recipients a generous subsidy that can amount to tens of thousands of dollars for a senior couple. In the past, there was a subsidy cliff where earning $1 over 400% of the poverty level resulted in a complete loss of the subsidy. The current subsidy plan is scheduled to expire in 2025, and the cliff will be reinstated. So people retiring at age 62 might want to be sure that the Social Security benefit will not potentially put them over the cliff and eliminate their Affordable Care Act subsidy. Once again, one might guess a functional Congress would continue the subsidy, but congressional dysfunction currently prevails. People for whom a Social Security payment might put them over the benefit cliff might want to consider relying on another bucket of income, a Roth IRA or cash and savings, to tide them over until they start Medicare. On the other side of the spectrum is the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount, IRMAA, IRMA, which I call the mother-in-law penalty, imposed on higher income Medicare recipients. If you take benefits at age 62, you may be unaware of this fairly steep penalty, which will apply when you get Medicare at age 65. If you have good income, you should take this into account in deciding when to take Social Security. With all of this in mind, it strikes me that before deciding at what age to take Social Security, you should do an income and tax analysis for at least the period of age from 62 to 70, and probably longer if you're going to be subject to taking required minimum distributions from a taxable IRA at age 73. You should also consider if it's better to draw on another retirement resource like a regular savings account, IRA, or Roth IRA first, and then to draw Social Security later. That decision will likely depend on the rate of earnings in your non-Social Security investment, as well as the tax consequences of withdrawal. For example, the Roth IRA comes out tax-free, but the regular IRA will be taxed as ordinary income. But only up to 85% of your Social Security payment will be subject to federal taxation, and it's tax-free in most states. I have a separate video about the taxation of Social Security. A comprehensive plan will help you to decide what basket of funds to access at what time. Okay, I realize that your head may be close to exploding at this point, but hey, you worked hard for your money and you want to be sure you do everything in your power to have a financially secure retirement. So let me just throw one more consideration into the mix. Most of these scenarios assume you will spend your Social Security benefit, but what if you invested it? For example, if you were single and postponed your benefit to age 70 but passed away a week before, your heirs would get nothing. But what if you'd taken the benefit at age 62 and invested the proceeds? It could add up to a tidy sum, and if you earned the 10% average rate of return on the stock market, it would be even more. And if those funds were in an EFT or an asset like a rental home, it could pass to your heirs with stepped up basis and in most cases no tax consequences. The issues of deciding when to take Social Security are legion, and I've only discussed a few of them here. Please recognize that I'm not an accountant or a tax attorney. I'm an ordinary consumer like you trying to work through these issues for my own planning purposes, and I'm simply sharing some of the things that I've learned with you. If you need expert assistance, please go see an expert. Good luck with your Social Security planning, and thank you for watching.